welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about what happened during this project and many of my other projects, but mainly industry practice, and how I'm going to fix that in a month. So today is the 30th of June. I recorded a video for a different project yesterday and I felt a lot more motivated, so I'm going to continue to do this, I think, rather than writing and just procrastinating every day. I'm gonna make this video in chapters and there will be timestamps in the description. I'll also get to talking about this time lapse that is on the screen at some point. So here's an image of all those timestamps and chapters on the screen. And how did I get here? So there were a few events that led to me getting an extension. I'm submitting my work, I'm pretty sure on the 11th of August. So I have 5 to 6 weeks to get this done alongside other projects. That's quite a short amount of time for what I have left to do. This project has taken less of a hit, but still I have not completed my game and I have not done a lot of the writing that needs to be done. Here are the events that led to that. I talk about it more in the other video if you want to watch that, but it's kind of more relevant to the other project. So I got estranged, so I went through the process of estrangement from my parents, so I didn't have very much like financial security or stability for a while. I then had someone pass away in my family, so I was grieving whilst this was happening, and my mental health was at an all-time low because of, financial stuff and not having really people to rely on, and because of the estrangement and the bereavement, I then had to face the people that I was estranging, which was weird, and it put me off doing my uni work. All of these things just together just really ruined my academic year. So I got an extension, and throughout that extension I took a break, which was the point, but I could not get back into work, especially since as soon as I felt I could do my work, I then had to move house. So I left myself, a week or so to settle in and move in, and I'm now in my new house and it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I still haven't touched my work. I have in dribs and drabs, but it's like not nearly as planned or thought out as I thought it would be. So how is this video gonna change anything? So I feel that the way I work is very flopsy. Some days I am very motivated and some days I can't sit at my desk and do anything, let alone play games, because I'll feel guilty that I'm not doing my work. So I think I need to be more vaguer. I usually use Kanban charts, which is what I had been doing, amongst also trying to make a weekly planner, especially for my group work, because this is a group project, and it didn't really work out. So I think making this video and reflecting a little bit before I get back into things will help. One big issue that, added to all of this, alongside all the events that happened, was the fact that this was a group project, and it was set almost at the start of the year, academic year, so we had a long time to, do this, and I believe it was September, somewhere in September, 27th of September, I think is when my first blog was, so it was around that time, and I got set with my group and things were looking fine because we had so many ideas, and then suddenly no one is responding to me, and my role as a director didn't really work out because I wasn't really able to direct a team. It was just more of me waiting around for people to send me work and then not getting that work, so I couldn't continue or feel motivated at all. And that's no one's fault, because, you know, I've had this whole thing happen to me myself, and, you know, it's really affected my work, and who's to say that that hasn't happened to anyone else. But I really feel like my group just got the worst stick pulled out of a lot of sticks, you know? I'm gonna put some evidence on the screen now of times that I tried to talk to my group and get things set and get work back, and that didn't work out. That's not to shame anyone, that is just to show what happened, and, you know, that I did try my best. My group consisted of me, Sean, Amare, Archie, Rosie and Atticus. So we had a lot of people in our group, but I feel like my group started to only become me and Archie and then me. So I did contact my tutor and talk about this many times, but, you know, if they weren't coming into lesson and couldn't be talked to in person, there wasn't really anything me or my tutor could do. After a presentation that we did, my tutor asked me to ask my whole team, as well as they got emails, to come in and have a meeting about, you know, lack of putting effort in and communication, but no one showed up, so that didn't actually happen. After that, it was almost set in stone that I was going to have to do this project solo, pretty much. I had Archie who was helping me as well, but, you know, he had his own things going on. But I think we did as much as we could for, you know, the situation up until May, where I stopped doing my work. I'm gonna talk now about sort of a timeline of events of what happened before May 2nd, which was my last blog on industry practice. So I did some research into itch.io, and, you know, 3 games to go into that. That was on the 27th of September when around this project got set. And then the week after that, on the 4th of October, I talked to my team and we set out roles and started idea generation. And then there was a game jam that I did not go to the week after that. Then there was planning for a presentation and, you know, getting our ideas out. That was on the 18th of October. On the 1st of November is when we started talking about, you know, the actual story, but people weren't really showing up to class anymore, and it was pretty much me who made the story alongside Amare and Archie. That month was filled with me asking for my story and script lead to get back to me and, you know, supply some of the work that they were doing, but they weren't really sending me it. They were telling me that they were going to do it at the end of the week, and then I'd ask at the end of the week, and then it was, I'll give it to you at the start of the next week, and that cycle kind of continued for a whole month. So I turned to other things. So I did research into some mental health issues on the 29th of November. The next month, on the 13th of December, is when I got my story back, but it was not really what I was looking for, asked for. I was very sure I communicated well over text what I wanted, but what I got was a base script, but the script wasn't really laid out in the way that made sense with our visual novel. Through January, it was really rough for me, so I didn't really do any work during that. But on February the 19th, I developed all the characters myself, because no one else was getting to that, and we were really pushing it for time at that point. So I took the little doodles and thumbnails that people had made and made my own iterations and made my own final designs. On February the 14th, I rewrote the whole script in a way that made sense for our game and fixed all the information, and I did some character backstories and a dialogue roadmap which, would help me during the production of the game. From the 14th until May 2nd, I worked on the game, coding it and learning how to use RenPy, which is what you're seeing right now on the screen. And on May 2nd, we also had to alpha test the game and get people to play it. I took the game that I made and let people play it, and most of my feedback was, wanting to see it finished, because everyone else had their game in almost a finished state. I got that feedback, and here it is on the screen, but that's pretty much where I'm left off, and I have not continued to work on the feedback or work on the game. So what do I have left to do now, and how am I going to do it? So I'm going to put up on the screen these in the order I'm going to do them within the month, and a vague enough time frame between the tasks that I'm going to do. So the first thing I need to do is do a case study into the games industry. I also need to talk about role models, contract agreements, and copyright and IP, which is things that I floated about with my group multiple times but never got down to actually having it physically in front of me. I need to talk about the UI and asset development, which I have done, obviously, because I made my game, but I never got around to talking about it in a blog. I need to talk about my project management, which is what I'm nearly doing now. I need to write about the alpha testing and the feedback that I got. I then need to either work on that feedback but also continue to make my game in RenPy. After I've completed that, I need to beta test it, send it to some people and get some feedback on that, and then publish that to itch.io. After that, I should have around a week to reflect and make my master post and edit any videos that are left not unedited. So that's going to be my plan moving forward. It's not as imminent for me to work on this one as it is for other projects, because this one I actually have something to work off of, whereas other ones I feel like I really just need to chug through the whole project in a month, which is daunting. I'm gonna do this in a form of a master post with dates and titles of tasks with those tasks included, so it's all together in one space, which I think is less organized, but it's more organized in terms of my situation, because all the blogs that are in my blog right now is post what happened and me stopping my work. So I want to go forward and just make one big post and be able to put all of my effort into that one post and these videos. During this video, you've been watching a time lapse of when I initially made my game post to May 2nd, and I'm gonna now describe some of the things that were happening in this video. It's not timed correctly with the video, obviously, because there were other information I was talking back in the start of the video, and it would be kind of bombarding if I was talking also about what was happening on the screen at the same time. So to recap, what I did was I set up the game and the project. I learned how to display dialogue, added sprites, file formatted, customized the character, added a background, added sound effects and music, and also added choices and flags. So that's pretty much all I had to say in this video. Moving forward, I'm going to do those tasks that I listed out and also just work towards making maybe another video once I've completed everything to look at, you know, what I accomplished in this short amount of time and reflect on this year. But that's pretty much it. Bye!